Look in front of you. Chances are you're looking at a mobile device. A laptop, tablet, maybe even a phone. If you're not, you probably still have one close by. At your fingertips is one of the most important technological advances in healthcare, and it will shape the care we provide and receive in this century and beyond. Humans have been thinking of creative ways to communicate at great distances for thousands of years. In ancient China, smoke signals were used to warn of enemy invasions, and the ancient Greeks adapted to this by converting their alphabet into numerical characters to allow for even more complex communication. Thankfully, by the late 19th century, humans had mostly moved beyond smoke signals, but were continuing to come up with novel and interesting ideas to communicate. Enter the telephone. The title for inventor of the electric telephone is somewhat contentious, but its commercial availability has largely been put down to Bell and Edison. If we skip forward another 100 years, the concept of a truly mobile telephone was first realised in its handheld form by Motorola in 1973. Today, the number of smartphone users is estimated at 3.8 billion. This means at least roughly half the world's population has access to a mobile device. This creates an incredible opportunity in the provision of specialist health services and support to those who need it most. At the start of this year, there were over 50,000 mobile health applications on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Although the potential for these systems to improve healthcare accessibility, expertise, and efficacy is vast, it's easy to be caught up in this without thinking about its implementation and assessment. In the UK, the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, or MHRA, are responsible for the regulation of software as a medical device. However, the majority of these health applications fall outside of this remit and into the class of a wellness device. Without regulatory pressure, it is therefore less surprising that despite the significant claims made regarding the impact these applications may have, the evidence supporting this is generally limited and non-robust. This may also be in part due to a lack of pathway for evaluation. Where we've had decades to develop frameworks for pharmaceutical and medical hardware, these are often not easily adapted to software. Thus, in a similar way to novel surgical techniques, a more pragmatic and thoughtful approach must be taken. Vinehealth is a mobile health tool aimed to support those living with cancer through educational content and facilitation of information collection and transference. Effectively, patients are able to track symptoms, side effects, medication adherence, appointments, and fitness. The patient can then view this data in a visual format, and they may choose to share this with their healthcare provider. Vinehealth hopes to empower those living with cancer to take a more proactive approach to their care through personalised education and real-world data generation. The aim of our study, therefore, was to evaluate the Vinehealth application as an adjunct in the care of patients undergoing surgical management of their brain cancer using the IDEAL framework. From October until January at the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery in London, England, we carried out an IDEAL Stage 1 mixed methodology study. We recruited patients living with brain cancer plus minus 7 days from their operation. Over a 12-week period, we collected real-world and electronic patient-recorded outcome measures via the application. We began the process at onboarding with a mixed methodology questionnaire and semi-structured interview. We did this to establish the demographics, baseline experience of smartphones and mHealth tools, as well as expectations of our patients in the study. After this, we continued to collect data remotely via the application. After a 2-week period, we carried an offboarding from the face-to-face aspect of the study to evaluate how well patients would continue to use the application away from formal follow-up. Offboarding again was completed with a mixed methodology, follow-up questionnaire and semi-structured interview, with real-world data collection continuing for the completion of the 12 weeks. In total, 6 patients were recruited, of whom 4 downloaded the application, and of these, all completed all interviews and questionnaires. A total of 518 real-world data points were captured in domains such as symptoms, medication, and activity. Completion rates for our ePros, which included BN20 and EQ5D5L, were both impacted by technical accessibility issues. As such, although there was a 100% completion rate in those who received the questionnaires, actual completion rates were 42% for BN20 and 54% for EQ5D5L. A 2-weekly completion rate was felt by our participants to be appropriate. General feedback regarding app use was positive. However, there were some comments made about the ease at which the medication tracker could be used. A request for more brain cancer specific educational content was also requested. 3 participants out of 4 thought the Vinehealth application would improve patient care, and 1 did not comment. All users recommended the application. No harms were identified. Overall, we established the feasibility and safety of integrating the Vinehealth application into the care of patients living with brain cancer. We also thought that the ideal framework worked well in this evaluation. Areas for improvement included the ePro delivery system, which has since been updated. Medication tracking, which is notoriously difficult to get right, again was a theme here. Patients often find manually uploading lots of medication to be cumbersome. Healthcare providers are reticent to take this up due to time commitments and concerns regarding prescribing, and app providers are not so keen to get involved due to regulatory issues and responsibility. Finally, a request for more relevant educational content has also been taken on board for the ongoing development. To continue the evaluation and development of the Vinehealth application, an ideal 2A study is planned to address the issues raised, but also to integrate a care provider dashboard to remotely review data. Going forward, we will continue to review how the ideal framework integrates into the evaluation of this software.